Aaron Blake sat in the captain's chair of the Aurora Dawn, staring at the holographic screen in front of him. The Galactic Council chamber floated in the void of space, full of light and shadows from distant stars. Aliens of many shapes and sizes surrounded him. Some had scales, some had feathers, some had glowing skin. They all looked at him with impatience, as if he were an irritation in their perfect order. Beside him, Dr. Lisa Morgan leaned forward. She adjusted the settings of her portable translator. Her hands trembled slightly, not with fear, but with anger. Commander Ryan Cole stood behind them, his arms crossed, his jaw tight. The three of them had come to the council to represent humanity, to speak for the colonies, to ask for fairness. But fairness was hard to find here. The first voice spoke from across the chamber. It was the leader of the Valar Dominion, a thin, blue-skinned creature with eyes like sharp knives.
"Humans," it said, its voice smooth but cutting. "We have heard enough of your stories."
You act as if you are the center of the galaxy. You are emotional. You are weak. You cannot lead. You should not interfere. Aaron felt the heat rise in his chest. "We are not weak," he said calmly. "We have saved this galaxy more times than anyone can count. Do you not remember the War of the Outer Rim? Do you not remember the time when the Krith tried to destroy the Orion cluster? Humanity stood in the gap. We repaired worlds. We rebuilt systems. And now you dismiss us because we ask for help?" A ripple of chatter passed through the council. Some aliens looked at him with curiosity, some with disdain. The Krith ambassador, a wide creature with 6 arms and a jagged face, snorted. "Help? You speak of help? Humanity is greedy. You want recognition. You want reward. You are like the rest of your kind. Fragile and proud. We do not need you anymore." Lisa shook her head. "They are lying," she whispered to Aaron. "They need us. They cannot keep the galaxy running without humans. Every jump gate, every repair station, every communication node, you know we built them. We keep everything alive." Aaron nodded, his mind racing. "They will learn," he said softly. But his voice had no confidence. At least not yet. The council speaker, a tall and elegant being from the planet Triver, raised a long, slender hand. "The issue is the human colony on Ardens III. It has suffered severe damage from the solar storms. Hundreds of thousands are trapped. We request assistance from the council. Your kind has requested resources before, but now we must decide. Shall we commit ships and supplies to save them?" Aaron felt a tightness in his chest. He glanced at Lisa and Ryan. "We all know what they will say," he said. Sure enough, the council murmured among themselves. Their voices were cold, measured, detached. Finally, the Valar spoke again. "The council cannot waste resources on a minor human settlement. Ardens III is not vital to the Union. Humanity has proven itself before. It must survive or fail on its own merits. The council cannot intervene." A silence fell. The words were like ice. Aaron's hands clenched. "You refuse to help because you think we are weak. You refuse because you think we will beg. You refuse because you have never understood what humans are capable of. You will regret this decision." The council laughed. It was not loud, but it carried disdain. They thought he was angry in a silly human way. They did not understand the power behind that anger. Aaron turned to Ryan. "Prepare the statement," he said. "We are leaving. All human colonies will seal their gates. No longer will we be the galaxy's servants. No longer will we fix what you break. Humanity walks away. Let them see what happens when the heart leaves." Ryan looked shocked. "Are you sure?" Aaron's eyes were hard. "We have tried to reason. We have tried to build. We have tried to forgive. Now it is time to show them that humans are not just helpers. We are the creators, the builders, the fixers. And when we leave, they will notice our absence." Lisa stepped forward. "Captain, this is extreme. The galaxy will collapse. Millions will suffer." Aaron looked at her. "They made that choice the moment they laughed at Ardens III. We cannot save everyone anymore. Some things cannot be fixed by kindness." The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Human engineers and fleet commanders worked in secret to prepare the withdrawal. Jump gates were sealed one by one. Colonies were placed into protective hibernation. Communication arrays were rerouted to Earth. Everywhere, humans moved quietly without announcing their plans. Meanwhile, the council continued its business, unaware of the silent human exodus. Trade routes ran as usual, but gaps began to appear. Ships arrived at stations that were empty. Outposts reported that the repair drones had disappeared. Communication signals went unanswered. Some species laughed. thinking humans were exaggerating. Others frowned, uneasy with the growing silence. Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan stood on the bridge of the Aurora Dawn watching the stars. The galaxy was full of life, colors, and movement, yet it felt fragile now, like a glass sculpture. Aaron placed a hand on the console. "They don't know yet," he said. "They think we will crawl back. They think humans will forgive them, no matter what. They are wrong. They have underestimated us one last time." Lisa frowned. "Do you think it is right to abandon them like this?" Aaron shook his head. "It is not about right or wrong. It is about respect. They took us for granted for too long. For centuries, humans built their roads, repaired their ships, negotiated their peace. And for centuries, they called us naive. Now they will feel the consequences." Ryan spoke quietly. "I just hope no one dies unnecessarily." "This is a hard lesson to teach," Aaron nodded. "Yes, but sometimes lessons are hard. The galaxy has forgotten what it means to depend on humans. They will remember soon." At that moment, a message appeared on the screen. It was from the Ardens the 30 colony, trapped on the dying planet. The message was simple: "Please help. We are dying." Aaron read the message, and for a moment the anger in his heart flared. He typed a response, but then stopped. He deleted it. The message would go unanswered. Not because he didn't care, but because the galaxy had ignored humanity's warnings for too long. This was the consequence. Lisa put a hand on his shoulder. "It is difficult," she said softly. "But perhaps this is the only way they will understand." Aaron nodded. "We built this galaxy. We made it strong. We saved it from wars, plagues, and disasters. But now it is their turn. Let them see what it is like without humans." As the weeks passed, the withdrawal continued. Ships left orbit, colonies went silent, and communication blackouts spread. The galaxy began to feel an emptiness, a quiet that was unusual in its usual hum of activity. Traders reported missing routes, diplomats found stations abandoned, and warlords began to test defenses, unaware that the humans who had maintained balance were gone. And still, the council laughed. They assumed that humans would return in a decade at most. They thought the humans were sentimental, too weak to leave forever. They had no idea. Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan watched from the bridge of the Aurora Dawn as the last jump gate closed. Stars stretched into lines as the ship entered a quiet sector, far from the known routes. Aaron spoke softly, almost to himself. "The galaxy has ignored humanity for the last time. Let them survive or fail. Let them learn what it is like without the ones who always fixed it." Lisa looked at him, her eyes full of sorrow and hope. "And we will watch," she said. Aaron nodded. "Yes, we will watch. And when they finally understand, it will be too late to fix it." The Aurora Dawn turned toward uncharted space. Behind them, the galaxy was buzzing with confusion, unrest, and disbelief. Humans, the species that once held the galaxy together, were gone. Not forever gone, but gone enough to make the galaxy tremble in ways it had never felt. As the ship moved into the dark void, Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan felt a mixture of sadness and pride. They had built this moment not out of hate, but out of truth. Humanity had given everything to this galaxy. They had been taken for granted, and now the galaxy would see what it meant when humans walked away. Stars passed silently. Time moved forward, and somewhere deep in the council chambers, aliens whispered of the humans who had always been there and who were now gone. The lesson had begun. The galaxy had not noticed it at first. Human colonies had always been scattered across star systems, connected by a network of gates and communication hubs. They repaired stations, rebuilt worlds, and mediated disputes between alien races. Their presence had been constant, almost invisible, like a quiet heartbeat that kept the galaxy alive. But when the humans withdrew, the heartbeat stopped. At first, alien traders shrugged. Ships arrived at jump gates and found them locked. The consoles flashed messages of error. Traders tried to contact human dispatch, but no one answered. Cargo rotted in storage bays. Supply chains began to fail. The Krith coalition blamed the Valar Dominion. The Valar Dominion blamed the Triverans. Each species pointed fingers, but no one could repair the system humans had built. Satellites went dark. Star stations lost power. Communication networks crackled with static. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt uncertainty. Tara Venn, a young Valar diplomat, was among the first to understand. She stood in her office on the capital planet of Valaris, staring at a map filled with blinking lights and red warnings. Ships were stranded. Outposts were failing. Colonies had lost contact with each other. "This is unusual," she whispered. She tapped the screen, trying to trace a signal to Earth. Nothing responded. The network was empty. It was as if the humans had vanished from the galaxy entirely. She called her mentor, an older diplomat named Rune Tark. "Have you noticed this?" she asked. Rune's scales flickered with worry. "Yes," he said. "I first thought it was a technical failure. But now reports are everywhere. Human stations are silent. Jump gates are offline. Humans are gone." Terra frowned. "But why? Why would they leave? They have always helped. They never asked for much, only trust. Did we offend them?" Rune shook his head. "They warned us. Hundreds of times. We ignored them. They have saved us from wars, from famine, from collapse. And we laughed. We assumed they would always be here. Maybe this is their answer." Meanwhile, deep in the void of uncharted space, the humans were not idle. Fleet commanders organized vast convoys, not of war, but of construction. They had chosen a hidden star far from known space, and around it, massive structures began to rise. Dr. Lisa Morgan stood on a command platform, watching the engineers at work. The Dyson sphere was taking shape, a colossal shell of light and energy, spanning millions of kilometers. "It will be magnificent," she said softly, "and no one will see it until it is finished." Aaron Blake nodded beside her. He was older now, the lines of his face marked by responsibility and long years of planning. "It must be hidden," he said. "The galaxy does not deserve to know where we are, not yet. They must feel what they lost." Ryan Cole walked past, shaking his head. "It still feels strange leaving everything behind. The stars we saved, the systems we built, all of it. And no one notices our absence yet." Aaron smiled faintly. "They will notice. Give them time. The galaxy cannot run without humans forever. It will fall apart slowly at first, then faster than they can manage." Back in Valaris, Tara Venn worked tirelessly. She tried to reroute signals, contact colonies, and repair what she could. But each attempt failed. The systems were designed by humans in ways the Valar could not understand. The engineers she commanded scratched their heads, confused and frustrated. She called another meeting with Rulak, a Krith official. "The humans have vanished," she said. "We cannot reach them. They have shut their borders. The systems are failing and the Council has no plan." Rulak's 6 arms trembled. "This is impossible. Humans are fragile. They could not survive alone. They could not abandon us, they have," Tara said quietly. "And now we must face the consequences." In other sectors, alien warlords began testing boundaries. Stargates left unlocked for years now failed. Ships drifted in deep space. Pirates and rebels discovered vulnerabilities that humans had previously patched. Trade collapsed in regions once stable. Conflicts ignited between species that had been allies. On a distant world, a colony governor tried to organize emergency repairs. He called for human engineers to intervene, but none came. Every transmission returned silence. He walked through his city, empty streets filled with people looking worried, confused, and afraid. "They always fixed things before," one citizen whispered to another. "Why aren't they helping now?" In the void beyond known space, Aaron Blake observed all of this through distant sensors. He watched alien fleets stumble, communication hubs die, and panic ripple through the colonies. He did not smile, nor did he gloat. He felt the weight of what they had done. "This is not vengeance," he said to Lisa. "This is reality. The galaxy chose to ignore us. They took our help for granted. Now they see what it means when humans are gone." Lisa sighed. "It still feels harsh. They will suffer. Some will die." Aaron's gaze was steady. "Yes, but they must understand. Humans are not infinite. We are generous, creative, and strong, but we are not eternal. They relied on us like children, and children forget lessons when taught too easily. Now they have learned one they cannot ignore." Meanwhile, rumors began to spread. In some sectors, alien merchants whispered that humans were building something new, a hidden world or a new civilization. Others thought humans had transcended to another form, leaving the galaxy behind. Some said humans had fled to another galaxy entirely, seeking freedom from a system that never respected them. No one knew the truth. The truth was far stranger than the rumors. Humans were building not only survival, but a monument to their own genius, a Dyson sphere that would provide energy, resources, and stability for hundreds of human generations. Colonies still trapped in human systems tried to repair their own networks. They failed. Systems that had been maintained for centuries began to break. Ships were stranded mid-jump. Trade routes collapsed. Star cities lost power, leaving billions in darkness. Tara Venn studied reports as more colonies failed. "We relied too much on humans," she said. "We thought they would always be here. We thought their generosity was endless. We were wrong." She tried to contact Earth, the heart of human civilization, but the signals were blocked. Human fleets patrolled the edges of known space. Protective drones moved through the systems, warning off intruders. The humans were silent, distant, unreachable. Runtark said quietly, "They did not leave because they wanted to punish us. They left because we stopped appreciating them. We will feel their absence more than we realized." In the dark expanse, Aaron Blake watched and waited. He did not enjoy the chaos, but he understood its purpose. The galaxy had been careless. It had been selfish. Humans had been taken for granted. Dr. Lisa Morgan walked beside him. "Do you think they will ever understand?" she asked. Aaron shook his head. "Some will, some will not. But eventually every species will learn that humans were the heart of the galaxy. And when they learn, it will be too late to ask for help. That is the only lesson that matters." For decades, the galaxy stumbled. Systems fell apart. Civilizations quarreled. Trade routes collapsed. Famine spread. Pirates and warlords took advantage of the chaos. The council could not organize repair. Diplomats argued endlessly, but no one had the skills humans had. Meanwhile, humans quietly built, explored, and advanced. The Dyson sphere grew larger every year. Energy flowed like a river of light. New colonies were being prepared far from known space. Humans had chosen not only to leave, but to create a sanctuary for themselves, a place where they could grow without interference, without being taken for granted. Aaron watched the progress and said, "We will be ready. When the galaxy finally notices, we will be strong, we will be safe, and they will finally understand what it means to lose us." Lisa nodded. "It will take time," she said. "But they will feel it. Every species will feel it," Aaron smiled faintly. "Yes, and that is the moment they will remember humanity. Not because we begged them to care, not because we saved them out of obligation, but because we showed them the truth. Humans are not servants. Humans are creators. Humans are the heart of the galaxy." The galaxy spun on, unaware of what was coming. Systems faltered. Ships drifted. Trade routes failed. The council panicked, but no solution could be found. Human absence became more noticeable every year. And in the quiet dark of uncharted space, Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan continued their work. They built, they planned, and they waited. The galaxy would eventually notice. And when it did, it would learn the cost of taking humans for granted. Somewhere, far away, the first message arrived at a colony. "Humans are gone," it said. "All systems are failing. The galaxy must survive on its own." The words were simple. The meaning was vast. The humans were gone and the galaxy would never be the same. Decades passed and the galaxy began to crumble. Trade routes broke. Systems failed. Civilizations that once relied on human technology now struggled to survive. Star stations that humans had built began to collapse. Communications went silent. Wars, small at first, grew into larger conflicts. Everywhere, species were panicking. Tara Venn, now older and wiser, watched from her office on Valaris. The Valar Dominion had tried to repair what humans had left behind, but every attempt failed. Engineers scratched their heads. Systems designed by humans were too complex, too elegant. It was as if the humans had thought of every possible problem and left no easy way to fix them. "This is worse than I imagined," Tara said. Her eyes traced the blinking red lights on the galactic map. "Every sector we can reach is failing. Without humans, everything falls apart." Her assistant, a young Valar named Mira, nodded nervously. "They always saved us before. Every war, every famine, we never thought they could leave. And now we can't reach them at all." "They left," Tara said softly, "and now we must survive without them." Meanwhile, in human space, Aaron Blake sat at the command platform of the Aurora Dawn. He had received reports from hidden observation posts. Alien systems were collapsing. Civilizations were fighting each other over resources humans had once supplied freely. He watched and felt no joy, only a heavy responsibility. "We warned them," he said to Lisa Morgan. She was reviewing reports from the Dyson sphere construction sites. The structure was nearly complete, a massive shell of energy and light encasing the star. They didn't listen. They thought we would always be here. They will learn soon enough. Lisa shook her head. I still feel sorrow. The galaxy will suffer. Millions may die. Aaron's eyes were steady. We do not abandon life out of cruelty. We leave to show the truth. The galaxy relied on us without gratitude. They must understand what it means when the ones who build everything walk away. Back in Valaris, the Galactic Union finally realized the severity of the problem. Representatives from the Valar, the Krith, and the Triverans convened an emergency council. The situation was dire. Communications were failing. Jump gates were inactive. Entire star systems were at risk of collapse. Captain Ethan Cross, a young human who had been studying Valar technology before the withdrawal, stood before the council. He had been chosen as the envoy to negotiate with humanity. We have no choice, he said. We must speak to them. We must convince them to reopen the gates, restore the systems, and help us. The council murmured. Some doubted that humans would respond. Others feared reprisal. But all agreed that the galaxy could not survive without human assistance. Ethan's ship, the Star Voyager, left the known sectors of the galaxy. His team carried supplies, tools, and messages of apology. He hoped that humanity would understand their plea and intervene. Meanwhile, Aaron and his team detected the approaching vessel. Human sensors picked up the small ship moving cautiously toward their territory. Lisa pointed at the screen. They are coming, she said. They still do not understand that it is too late. Aaron's hand hovered over the console. Let them arrive. Let them speak. It will not change anything. The Star Voyager arrived at the Sol Gate, the last human-controlled jump point. Massive defense platforms surrounded the area. Automated systems ready to respond to any threat. Ethan activated the communication array. This is Captain Ethan Cross of the Galactic Union. We request contact with a human representative. Silence. Seconds passed. Minutes passed. Then a calm, clear voice spoke through the array. The time for apologies is over. You have had decades to understand. Now you must face the consequences of your choices. Ethan's heart pounded. He recognized the voice as Ryan Cole, one of the leaders of the human withdrawal. Captain Cole, Ethan said, I know humans have been hurt, but the galaxy is in crisis. We plead for your help. If humans do not intervene, billions will die, systems will fail, civilizations will collapse. Please, we ask you to reconsider. Ryan Cole's holographic form appeared before them, calm, steady, and unyielding. He was older, his face lined with experience and responsibility. We offered cooperation for centuries, he said. We gave knowledge, energy, and life to the galaxy. And for centuries we were ignored, mocked, and taken for granted. We warned your leaders repeatedly. Yet you laughed, you dismissed, you assumed we would always be here. Now you understand what it means when humans are gone. Ethan swallowed hard. We were wrong. We see that now. Please, help us. We will respect your terms. We will learn from our mistakes. Humanity is all that stands between survival and disaster. Ryan's gaze did not waver. Your words are too late. The time to value humans has passed. You cannot undo centuries of neglect with promises. We will not reopen the gates. We will not repair the systems. You must face the results of your choices. Only then will you understand the cost of taking humans for granted. On Valaris, Tara Ven watched the exchange through her observation feed. She felt a chill in her heart. Even now, the humans remained firm, unwavering. The species she had always admired for creativity, bravery, and resilience were more than she had ever realized. They were not just builders, they were the backbone of the galaxy. Ethan tried again. Please, Captain Cole. Humanity's work has kept countless lives alive. We will follow any rules you set. Just give us a chance. Ryan shook his head slowly. There are no rules that can restore what was lost. There is only survival now. The galaxy will rebuild, not with our guidance but on your own, and we will watch quietly, as you learn the lesson you refused to learn when we were here. Ethan felt desperation growing. If we fail, billions will die. Surely that is enough reason to intervene. Humans care about life, about the galaxy. We are begging for help. Ryan's eyes softened slightly, but his voice remained firm. Humans care about life, yes. That is why we gave so much. That is why we warned you. You did not listen. Now you must live with the consequences. The communication array fell silent. Ethan felt as if the entire universe had gone still. He had traveled light years to beg, to plead, to reason, and it had no effect. Humans were gone, not in body, not in presence, but in the authority to intervene. They had given the galaxy everything and withdrawn when it was no longer respected. Aaron Blake watched from his platform on the Aurora Dawn. He said quietly, "They have come to beg, and they do not understand that it is too late. This is what happens when you take humans for granted. You cannot fix the past with words. You must live through the consequences." Lisa Morgan nodded. "It is happening exactly as we knew it would. Systems will fail. Civilizations will crumble. And still they will learn too slowly." Ryan Cole turned to Aaron. "Prepare the observation posts. I want to watch carefully. I want every sector monitored. Let them see, let them feel, and let them understand the value of humans. One day they may rebuild, but it will not be with us guiding them." As the humans in secret built their Dyson sphere and prepared for the future, the galaxy struggled. Star stations collapsed. Jump gates failed. Planets that had relied on human engineers went dark. Trade stopped. Civilizations that had once been stable fell into chaos. Tara Venn moved from one failing system to another, trying to stabilize networks. She worked tirelessly, but every solution failed. Every repair required knowledge humans had taken with them. She felt a growing sense of awe and fear for the species that had once walked among them. "They are magnificent," she whispered to Rune Tark. "I always knew humans were clever, but I did not know how much the galaxy depended on them. Without them, everything falls apart." Rune nodded. "They gave life, stability, and hope. And we ignored it. We will never forget this lesson, even if it takes centuries to learn it fully." Across the galaxy, alien leaders began to understand the cost of underestimating humanity. Panic spread. Civilizations began to fight over limited resources. Systems failed at the worst moments. The very order of the galaxy, the network of stars and planets humans had helped maintain, was beginning to crumble. In the hidden human territory, Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan watched silently. They did not celebrate. They did not gloat. They felt the weight of responsibility for leaving the galaxy without its stabilizers, but they knew it was necessary. "This is what we have waited for," Aaron said quietly. "They will understand too late, but they will understand. And that is the point. Humanity cannot be taken for granted. Not now. Not ever again." Lisa looked at the screens filled with the galaxy in turmoil. "Do you think they will ever value us again?" Aaron shook his head. "Some will. Some will never learn. But it does not matter. We did what was right for us. We gave enough. We warned enough. Now the galaxy must live with its choices." Ryan Cole added, "And we will watch. Every star, every system, every failing station we will observe. We will ensure that the lesson is clear. Humanity was the heart of the galaxy, and now they know what it feels like when the heart leaves." The Star Voyager returned to Valaris, carrying only messages of failure and despair. Ethan Cross reported to the Council, "The humans will not intervene. They refuse. Every system they once maintained is in jeopardy. We must survive on our own." The Council fell silent. For the first time they understood. The humans had been more than allies, more than friends, more than builders. They had been the backbone of the galaxy. 100 years had passed since humans had withdrawn from the galaxy. Whole systems had fallen into ruin. Trade routes that once thrived were now littered with derelict ships. Colonies that had survived for centuries struggled to maintain life. Civilizations that once trusted each other now fought constantly over dwindling resources. The Galactic Union no longer existed as it had before. Each species tried to manage on its own, but the loss of humans was too great. Communications that had once spanned light years were now impossible. And yet, a faint hope lingered in the minds of some. Tara Venn, now elderly and wise, had never stopped searching for humanity. She had spent decades following faint signals, trying to piece together their location. Most others had given up, accepting that humans were gone forever. But Tara believed. She knew humans did not leave the galaxy out of fear or weakness. They had chosen to disappear, but not to destroy. Run Tark, now a friend and advisor, stood beside her on a small research station at the edge of known space. "You think we will find them?" Tara asked. Rune adjusted his glasses, his 4 eyes blinking in concern. "I do not know. Humans are clever. If they wish to remain hidden, they will be impossible to find. But we can try. We must try." It was during one of these searches that they picked up a strange signal. It was faint, buried in the cosmic background like a whisper hidden among the stars. The pattern was highly organized, with sequences that matched no natural phenomenon. Tara's heart raced. This could be them, she said. Rune nodded. Set a course. We will follow it, carefully. Whatever we find, it will not be small. For weeks, their small ship moved toward the source, traveling into uncharted space. The stars stretched endlessly. Time passed slowly, measured only by the lights blinking on their consoles. And then finally they saw it, a star unlike any they had known. Around it was a massive structure, bright and immense. The Dyson sphere glowed with energy, its surface reflecting the light of the star it enclosed. Its scale was beyond imagination. It was not just a construction, it was a monument to human ingenuity, a new world, a hidden sanctuary. Tara gasped. They built this? 100 years and they built this? Rune's voice was quiet. Yes, humans have always been builders, always creators, and now they have outdone themselves. As they approached, the ship's sensors detected automated drones moving through the sphere. The drones were intelligent but not aggressive, guarding the structure, observing any approaching ship. Tara sent a cautious message. This is Tara Ven, representative of the Valar Dominion. We seek communication with humans. A calm voice answered almost immediately, though it was not in person. The drones relayed a holographic projection, and there, in perfect clarity, stood Dr. Lisa Morgan, aged and composed, her eyes reflecting years of wisdom and planning. Greetings, she said. Her voice carried no anger, only a steady calm. You have found us. I am Dr. Lisa Morgan. This message is for all who seek to understand the consequences of their choices. Tara stepped closer, awestruck. We thought humans were gone. We have searched for decades. How could you remain hidden? Lisa smiled faintly. We left. Not because we did not care. We left because the galaxy never valued what we gave. For centuries, humans saved worlds, repaired systems, and prevented disasters. And for centuries, we were taken for granted. We warned your leaders. We offered guidance. You ignored it. Now you see the result, Rune spoke softly. We understand. But the galaxy is dying. Millions are suffering. Systems collapse. We beg for your help, surely humanity will intervene. Lisa's gaze softened, but her voice remained firm. We will not intervene. Not to repair what was broken. Not to restore systems that were abandoned or mismanaged. You had time. You had centuries to value humans. You did not. We left to build a future for ourselves, a sanctuary where we could thrive without being taken for granted. Tara's eyes filled with tears. You warned us. We did not listen. We see it now. But there must be a way to help. Just a little. Please, humans, for the sake of life in the galaxy. Lisa shook her head slowly. Our purpose is not to punish. We gave, we guided, we protected. But respect and understanding must be earned. You may survive, but you must do it without us. And perhaps one day when your species learns, you may approach us differently. But that time is not now. The message paused. Then Lisa continued, her voice almost gentle, almost kind. We leave you with a lesson, not a threat. Humans are creators. Humans are builders. Humans are the heart of the galaxy. And now you know what it feels like when the heart walks away. Tara turned to Rune, her voice trembling. We have failed. We were careless. We did not value them. How could we not see it before? Rune placed a hand on her shoulder. We see it now. And perhaps that is the only way we can learn. Humans have always shown the way. Now it is our turn to try to follow it without them. The Dyson sphere's light bathed the small ship as it hovered near the edge. Automated drones scanned the visitors not with aggression but with perfect calculation. Every sensor, every device, every system reflected the intelligence and creativity of humanity. Lisa Morgan's image slowly faded, leaving the visitors to contemplate the magnitude of what humans had built. It was not just a structure, it was a symbol. Humans had created something so vast, so precise, and so hidden that no alien civilization could rival it, and they had done it quietly without seeking praise or recognition. Tara looked out at the sphere, overwhelmed. They are beyond us, beyond everything we imagined. Rune nodded. Yes, humans are different. They give freely. They create endlessly. And they leave only when it is necessary to teach the lesson we never understood. The small Valar ship returned home, carrying news of what they had discovered. The report was simple. Humans were alive. Humans were thriving, and humans had left the galaxy to learn what it meant to take them for granted. Across the galaxy, systems continued to struggle. Trade routes remained broken. Colonies were in crisis, and yet somewhere in the minds of those who had discovered the Dyson sphere, a seed of understanding began to grow. Humans were not just helpful, they were essential. They were the foundation on which civilizations had been built. And now, the galaxy understood that lesson, though far too late to undo the suffering caused by neglect. On the platform of the Dyson sphere, Lisa Morgan turned to Aaron Blake. "They found us," she said. "They saw what we built," Aaron nodded. "Yes, and they will remember it. Not just the structure, but the message. We gave everything, warned them repeatedly, and they ignored us. Now they see. It will not save their systems. It will not repair what they lost, but it will teach them." Ryan Cole walked beside them. "Do you think they will ever value humans again?" Aaron's eyes scanned the sphere's endless surface, lit by the energy of the captured star. "Some will. Some never will. But that is not our concern. We have built our future. We have protected our kind. That is enough." Lisa smiled faintly. "And the galaxy will always remember. Even if it is painful. Even if it takes centuries." Aaron placed his hand on the console. "Yes, humans are not saviors. Humans are not servants. Humans are the heart of the galaxy. And when the heart leaves, every species feels the absence. That is the lesson. That is the truth." Outside, the Dyson sphere hummed with life and energy. Humans moved within it, constructing, exploring, creating. The galaxy had lost them, and in that loss it had learned something it could not forget. Tara Ven's report traveled across the remaining sectors. Every species that received it paused, contemplating the enormity of what humans had done and what they had become. The Dyson sphere was more than a structure. It was proof. Proof that humans were not only capable of greatness, but that they were willing to withdraw from an ungrateful galaxy to ensure their survival. And somewhere, deep inside the sphere, Aaron Blake, Lisa Morgan, and Ryan Cole observed silently. They did not rejoice in the galaxy's struggle. They did not celebrate its failures. They had given centuries of themselves to others. And now, quietly, they had built a home for humanity. A place safe, thriving, and entirely theirs. The galaxy would continue without humans, stumbling, failing, learning. And when it finally understood the truth, it would be too late to ask for help. Lisa whispered softly, almost to herself. "They will remember." "They must," Aaron nodded. "And we will watch. Quietly. Patiently. As the galaxy learns the value of humans the hard way." The Dyson sphere glowed brighter, a silent monument to the species that had once been taken for granted. And far across the stars, the galaxy began to feel at last the weight of absence. Centuries had passed since humans had withdrawn from the galaxy. Systems had risen and fallen. Civilizations that once thrived now struggled to maintain order. Trade networks were fragmented. Star colonies that had been built with human knowledge were failing. Communication between distant worlds was nearly impossible. Tara Ven, now very old, watched the galaxy from her observation station. The Valar Dominion had tried everything to restore order, but without humans, every attempt failed. Ships drifted in space, star stations fell into disrepair, resources were scarce, and conflicts over remaining supplies grew daily. Runtark, her longtime friend and advisor, stood beside her. "Do you think they will ever return?" Tara asked. Run shook his head slowly. "I do not think so. They gave us every chance. They warned us for centuries. And now they have withdrawn to protect themselves. Humans will not come back until we prove we have learned, until we truly understand their value." Despite their despair, the discovery of the Dyson sphere years before had given hope to some. Alien leaders who had seen it realized how humans had not only created something magnificent, but had also quietly watched and monitored the galaxy, giving the universe a chance to learn a lesson. On the outer edges of the Dyson sphere, Aaron Blake moved along a platform filled with activity. Humans were everywhere, building, exploring, creating. The structure had grown to a scale no one could have imagined. A self-sustaining habitat around a star, with energy flowing through every panel and conduit. Dr. Lisa Morgan observed the human engineers at work. "They are coming," she said quietly to Aaron. Aaron looked at her. "Who is coming?" Some of the galaxy's civilizations, Lisa replied. They have learned enough. They will seek us. They are finally ready. Even from a distance, humans could feel the change. The galaxy had struggled for centuries. Systems had collapsed. Colonies had failed. And finally, after generations of suffering, the first of the alien envoys approached human space, seeking understanding rather than begging for aid. Captain Ethan Cross's descendants led the mission. He was long gone, but his legacy endured. They carried messages of peace, requests for knowledge, and proof that some civilizations had learned the value of humanity. The humans did not rush to welcome them. They did not celebrate their arrival. Instead, Aaron Blake, Lisa Morgan, and Ryan Cole prepared to meet the envoys in a way humans always had. Calm, observant, and measured. When the alien ships arrived near the Dyson sphere, automated drones scanned them carefully. The ships were cleared to enter, but under strict guidance. Humans watched silently as the representatives of alien civilization stepped onto the platforms. Tara Ven's descendant, Lyra Ven, led her delegation. She had inherited her grandmother's curiosity, determination, and respect for humans. As the humans appeared before them, Lyra felt awe, fear, and hope all at once. Aaron Blake stepped forward. "You have traveled far," he said calmly. "You have come to see what humans have built and what we have become." Lyra bowed her head respectfully. "We come with respect, not demands. We have learned. We have seen the consequences of neglect. We understand that humans are more than allies. They are the foundation upon which civilizations thrived." Lisa Morgan's eyes softened. "It has taken you centuries, but understanding is the first step." Ryan Cole added, "Humans do not demand worship. We do not require praise. But respect must be earned, and it must be genuine. You have shown it by coming here with sincerity rather than begging for aid." The alien delegates looked around the sphere in wonder. Energy flowed through the structures. Machines moved with purpose. New colonies were being prepared inside the sphere, and every system reflected human ingenuity. Lyra Ven could not speak at first. She walked slowly through the platforms, touching walls that glowed with energy, watching humans at work. We underestimated you," she said finally. "We took your help for granted. We mocked your warnings, and now we see what we lost." Aaron nodded. "You see it now? That is enough. Not for forgiveness, not for us to repair your systems immediately, but enough to know that humans are essential and irreplaceable." One of the alien engineers asked, "Will you help us rebuild?" Aaron shook his head. "Not yet. Not until you can do it on your own. Humans gave you the galaxy once freely and fully. You misused it. You must first prove that you have learned the value of what we gave. Only then will assistance be offered. We will share knowledge, but the rebuilding must be yours." Lyra Ven's eyes filled with tears. "It is harsh, but it is fair. We understand. We will work to rebuild, and we will honor humans even if it takes generations." Lisa Morgan smiled faintly. "Good, that is all we ask. You will have guidance in time, but first you must prove your understanding. Human patience is long, but it is not infinite. Learn well." The alien delegation spent weeks studying the Dyson sphere, learning the structure, the energy systems, and the innovations humans had developed. They marveled at the scale of human achievement and realized the depth of the lessons they had ignored for centuries. For the first time, alien civilizations felt the weight of history. They saw the brilliance of humans not just in technology, but in thought, strategy, and foresight. Humanity had built more than structures. They had built lessons hidden yet powerful to ensure that their absence would be felt and understood. Aaron watched quietly. "This is why we withdrew. We are not here to punish. We are here to teach, to protect our kind. And now perhaps the galaxy will finally understand." Over the next decades, humans maintained a careful presence near the Dyson sphere. They allowed observation, study, and dialogue, but they did not intervene directly in galactic politics or conflicts. The alien civilizations, humbled and wiser, began the slow process of reconstruction. Tara Ven's line of descendants became ambassadors, learning patience, respect, and the value of human knowledge. Systems slowly regained stability, trade resumed, and diplomacy began again, but always with awareness of the essential role humans had played. Aaron Blake, standing on a balcony overlooking the glowing surface of the Dyson sphere, said quietly to Lisa Morgan, "They will rebuild, but they will never forget. They will respect humans not out of fear, but because they understand our worth. Lisa nodded. It has taken centuries, but the lesson has been learned. Finally, the galaxy will value humans for who they are, not just what they give. Ryan Cole added, and humanity will continue to grow. We have created a sanctuary where our kind can thrive, and where we can observe, guide, and ensure that respect is never forgotten again. The alien envoys departed, carrying messages back to their civilizations. Tales of the Dyson Sphere spread slowly, but with truth and humility. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Humans were not just helpful, they were essential, the heartbeat of life, the architects of stability, and the guardians of order. Back within the sphere, humans worked quietly. Generations passed and human society flourished, advanced, and grew stronger. They explored beyond their hidden star, prepared for future challenges, and ensured that their species could thrive regardless of the galaxy's chaos. Taraven's descendant Lyra watched from the observation deck. They gave us everything, she said softly. And now finally we understand. We will never forget. Aaron Blake looked out at the energy flowing across the Dyson Sphere. Humans have always been creators, builders, and protectors. The galaxy will remember us now, not because we demand it, but because our absence made the lesson impossible to ignore. Lisa Morgan smiled. The galaxy is learning, slowly, carefully, and we will be patient. Always patient, Ryan Cole added quietly. Humans are the heart of the galaxy, and the heart endures even when it walks away. That is the legacy we leave behind. The Dyson Sphere glowed brighter than ever, a beacon of life, ingenuity, and resilience. Humanity had walked away to protect itself, but the galaxy had finally seen the truth. Every civilization would carry the lesson forward. Respect humans, value their work, and never take them for granted. And somewhere in the quiet corners of the Dyson Sphere, Aaron, Lisa, and Ryan continued to build, explore, and create, ensuring that humanity would remain strong, free, and ready for whatever the universe might bring. The galaxy would never forget. Humans had walked away, and the galaxy had learned,